What's going on, all you envoys? Welcome on in here. Welcome to SoulFrame. SoulFrame is currently on, on PC for download only with a code. And yeah, so you go ahead and get on the SoulFrame website, use the code if you've got one, and go ahead and jump in there, download the game. If you guys do not want, make sure you guys slide on over and hit me up on Twitch, live weekdays starting at 5 p.m. Eastern. It's Lucian Plays All Day. All right, let's go ahead and jump in. Create you a character, select a pact, and let's get started. In this video, we're going to be going over a few basic tips and tricks to help you on your way. All right. So yeah, this is SoulFrame. So if you guys did end up getting a founder's pack, or you just downloaded the game and you're wondering what to do or how to equip your goodies, if you're logged into the game, go ahead and log out, obviously, and then log back in. We're gonna hold the tab button on keyboard. Hold the tab button. We're gonna go from Alka, which is the open world, into the Nightfold. This area is the Nightfold. So in this area, this is where we're gonna go to equip our items and stuff. If you're going into the Nightfold for the first time and you end up going and touching the lights and that sort of thing, going through the stories, here in the tent is where we're gonna end up going to equip our items that we got from the Founders Pack, or any items that we end up getting or selecting. This is where we're gonna go to find all the awesome items. Each of the little dots is gonna allow us to select some things. Here's the helmet. Of course, we can hover over the dot and see that it's the helmet. We can click on the left click on the helmet and then select one that we're looking for. Of course, each different helmet has different stats, and that's gonna help you out, buff you up, make you stronger in different areas. All right, so in this area, let's go ahead and jump in and start talking about the primary weapons, secondary weapons. Of course, this is going to be our where we get equip our bow, or the sword, or the javelin. Of course, there's plenty of weapons, one-handed, two-handed weapons. And here's our secondary or sidearm, and we can equip one of these as well. Of course, I'm hitting the escape key to back out. Let's see here. So whenever we're looking at our primary weapon, if we hover over it, you'll see that it says right click for enchantments. So we can right click, and this is where we're gonna see our enchantments, or we can equip the totems. And of course, the totems are gonna give us different power-ups and abilities added. So if you're looking for your to change the little guide bird, you can do all kinds of customizations in here. This is for the little guide bird, or equip different skins for the guide bird. I believe if you're a founder, that'd be one of the things that you'd be looking for from the Founders Pack. So another thing is the pacts. these are the pacts right here. You can hover over it and you can see it. I have the Orangol pact equipped currently. Of course, you can upgrade it by just playing the game, getting into fights, doing boss fights, completing missions, completing quests. You'll earn points. You can spend those points to power up your increase the punch of your pacts. But this is also where you can go to swap them. You can choose a completely different pact. So the pacts are the different abilities. So you can see the the Werewalker, pack hunter, and the howl. That's going to be your abilities number one, number two, number three on the keyboard while you're in game. So each of the three abilities. So if you change your pact, then you're going to be changing your ability sets. So, and of course, each one, I'm not really going to go over. I'll hover over just enough time. Hopefully that if you guys need to, you can pause it and read through there if you guys want to. I'm not really going to go over each individual one right now. I'm just wanting to show you where the pacts are and how you change them or equip them. Of course, you just click on them to equip them. And of course, the wild Tetherin and the regular Tetherin and the wild Oselda. So the wild one is going to be from the Founders Pact. So those are going to be, or from the Founders Pack, excuse me, if you purchase the Founders Pack, those are going to be the ones that you purchase from there. So the wild Siren. Yeah. And of course, by, like I said, switching the pacts, changes the abilities, so you can go through and change them, go through and check out the different abilities. Another thing you can check out on here, there's so much stuff to change just on this screen. Another thing to look at is the talisman. Talismans, if you look, the different ones are going to give you like +1 on the courage, +3 on spirit. So each different talisman is going to give you different power-ups. And of course, we got the Wilding's heart and the Wilding's hush and the Wilding's heart over here. Hilt, excuse me, Wilding's hilt in the heart and the hush. And of course, the additionally on the Founders Pack, the Paragon, which if we look, you get +3 on the courage, +3 on spirit, or +3 on grace. On this one here, you do get the upgrades +3 on all three for this talisman. So by clicking on this one, obviously this is where you're going to go to find this. And if you do end up having the Paragon talisman, this is where you go to equip that. And of course, the different armors. Let's see. Oop. There's the sidearm. Of course, here, looking at the wild Oselda armor, you guys can change the different armors. This is the wild siren. But yeah, changing the fashion. Whoops. Probably want to. Put that back. It doesn't matter. We'll there we go. Yeah, we'll put that back. Yeah, let's go ahead and put that back. So yeah, changing the different armors and changing the different stuff. You can obviously change the stats of your virtues, the combat arts, and yeah, so many different options. Change your helmet. So many different options to change in here. There's the leggings. But let's go ahead and back out of here. So once you select your armor and stuff and you're ready to move on for your more fashion, hey doggo, we're going to go ahead and slide on over to this cauldron. This cauldron lady.
I know.
So here's where you're going to be able to brew different dyes, the hues, and you can select which colors you would like displayed for on your armors. Absolutely. I did forget to mention, well, one more thing. So here is something to note. This is the cauldron. I was looking for this specific cauldron in the quest in, I was running around the map for a long time looking for this cauldron, and I needed to speak to her and put the, for the quest. So if you guys are stuck on for the quest, something about a cauldron, that's the cauldron you need to go talk to. But the tokens on the armor, that's the other thing that I have not used myself, is the tokens. But in here would be where we would do that also. I was trying to look for that specifically. But yeah. All right, well, I'm not seeing the option offhand, so we're gonna move on. Oh, while we're in here, the forge, or if you guys play a lot of Warframe, the foundry, right? That would be right here.
I know. More wasted coal.
So I do have this already crafted. I'm just hovering the mouse over the item, and of course I do have, since I already have it crafted, I'm not going to, but this was going to give you a list of the different materials that you would need. And I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to find the trader, the little trader guy, but there's a small character in the game that trades items. Scrap iron and such are part of his inventory, and of course his inventory rotates every couple of hours. I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to track down one of the traders in the game. They're kind of small. They blend in with like a bush, and they're just randomly on the map. All right, so but yes, here's where you go to forge the items, and of course you can get the items out of the forge, so you can build different weapons. Of course, you get the weapon pieces by doing various missions and boss fights mainly when the bosses drop the items. While we're here, let's talk about the shop. This camel's the shop. Here's where the different packs are, but with those packs comes arcs. So the Dracs are the in-game like credits, and the arcs are the in-game kind of like platinum. If anybody is coming from Warframe or plays a whole lot of Warframe, so the Dracs are kind of like credits. The arcs are kind of like platinum. I say kinda. Shout out to DE for making such amazing games. So if you do get a handful of arcs when you purchase the pack. So if you do have arcs and you end up wanting to spend some of those hard-earned arcs, here's where to do that. You can, get you some weapons if you don't really feel like doing a bunch of boss fights and you just simply want to, hey, that looks cool, let me buy that. Here's where you could do that. Here's some different armor. So here's what I actually spent some of my arcs on. Personally, I bought the different, what are these called? Pacts. I got the different pacts, so that way I didn't have to, track those down. All right, so here's the shop. You can spend the Drax. And for anybody also that did manage to support DE with the Founders Pack, again, first of all, thank you for everybody supporting such an awesome game. I love this game, and thankful that I'm able to support the game also. So I just wanted to say thank you. If anybody's looking to plant that Founders seed, here's how to plant that Founders seed, is right in here. So you just, hold the X button. Also, for anybody, this is how you pull up your emotes. You hold the X button and you hit the right click, and then you go to the music. And then, of course, with the number pad, you match the notes. And then it takes you to this screen. All right, this is the Eternium Gardens. So on here is going to be a whole bunch of different pictures and numbers. So each one of these is basically an instance of the gardens. So you can find which one you want to go to. By the way, the water filled in the background is how much room is left. There's not very much room left in some of these, if any room at all. But yeah, you're just going to keep scrolling and scrolling and scrolling. And I know that I'm, we're going to keep going, I believe. Oh, man. So there's going to be a symbol if you do end up planting your seeds. There's going to be a little symbol on the top left corner of the square. I'm in a water pitcher 22, I thought, but it may or may not have, the numbers just changed or didn't line up. So I am now just looking for my own little symbol here. I'm thinking I should just put yours automatically at the top or something. That'd be pretty cool. Well, I can assure you guys, it's in here. I really don't want to be stubborn in the middle of this tutorial, but you literally just click on one, it doesn't matter, and then it's going to take you to a spot, and hopefully it'll take you, scroll down to the bottom, it's going to take you, you can see the little water whenever it's like half filled or something like that. Then you find a open location, and then you can plant your founder's seed. Or seeds, depending on which one or which pack or packs you ended up getting. I believe you end up getting one seed per pack. So yeah, these end up filling up pretty quick. That's crazy. And that's awesome that there's so much support coming through for DE. Let's see. All right, so either way, I'm just gonna go ahead and click on one since I obviously can't find my own, and I'll just show you guys real quick so that way we can move on with the guides video. All right, so look here. Basically, is what it looks like with for other people's flowers, and it'll just basically have your name. Here's some empty spots, so you just walk up to it, and it'll give you hit the button. I'm pretty sure it's going to be the F or X button. I'm pretty sure it's going to be the F button. F is in Frank. And then, yeah, it'll, plant your flower. So, yeah, awesome. All right, so that is how you plant the founder's seed or seeds, depending on how many you got. All right, so let's go ahead and jump straight into the open world. This is the open world. I do believe, yeah, it spawned me not where I was a little while ago, but that's cool. I'll just run to where I was and pretend I was there the whole time. All right, so in the open world, let's see. It'd be really cool if I could find a little trader. And of course, it's gonna. Put a big giant wall. Not like this, fam. Not like this. Hey, look. Sweet. Random hole. All right, no big deal. Running the map. So one thing to note, one thing to think about, to talk about is graphics. Yeah, let's talk about the graphics. I do have my graphics set to a low setting for now. So unfortunately, my PC is not running the smoothest with higher graphics settings at the moment. So until things settle down, I'm going to go ahead and run them on lower settings. So if you guys need to do the same, you're finding some hardware issues, go ahead and hit your options, your escape key, and go to the settings and check out all of the different options and make sure to set everything on low. All right, so right here is where I was. All right, so running around the world map. Obviously, we're gonna run into some enemy, but we're gonna run into some statues. We can just play our songs whenever we run across them. No big deal. So, as I was saying, stop to pick the flowers, stop to pick the mushrooms, get all of the different resources. So here we are in the open world. One thing we're gonna do, obviously, we're gonna pull up the map. And here's how to set waypoints. You use the right click, and how to take off the waypoint. You very carefully, in the same exact spot, place a waypoint, and then you place a waypoint in the. You click again on the exact same spot. If you have multiple people in your party, you're gonna have the little, one symbol, two, Roman numeral 2, and then Roman numeral 3 for your party, for your full squad. All right. So something to look for on the map. You're gonna see always that you're gonna see the on the bottom left corner. You're gonna see the night. If it's nighttime or daytime here in Alka. So if you're brand new to the game, you're going to notice a whole bunch of fog around your whole map. Your whole map is going to be foggy, and you're going to, maybe get frustrated because you can't. You're just going to go exploring and try to lift the fog. Maybe you're doing the quests and you're following the bird. I've got my bird attached to my 6 button, 6 on the keypad. You guys can change your key bindings in your settings. So what we're looking for to lift that fog is the world trees. That right there, my friends, is a world tree. You can tell it's a world tree because it's bigger. It's not exactly taller, but it's bigger, like the base of it's thicker. You know what I mean? Here's a normal trees, more normal trees. Nothing fancy about these. Even the ones in the background, they're kind of bushy, but whenever you walk up to them, you realize that they're just kind of more of these. But this one here, you can kind of see it's a little bit bigger. So yes, this is the tree that we're looking for. And you'll see, if you don't have the area unlocked yet, you'll see like a javelin impaled into the tree, and then you go up to it, and you take the javelin out of the tree, and you free the tree, and you lift the fog from the area, from the map, so it'll clear your map. So if we look, for example, this area right here, this is the world tree for this area. I believe this left side is going to be the starting area. So I will very carefully try to zoom out the best I can and show you. This is the symbol, by the way. Let me show you again. This is the symbol for the world tree. Here's where the symbol is for the player. And this is the symbol for the world tree. I am so sorry about these red swirlies. Those are some missions on the map that get reset from time to time. So, but this is the world tree symbol. If you guys can note or mark where these approximation world tree symbols are, and you can set a waypoint yourself, and then try to go to them, and then go to each one and uncover your world map. Here's another one. Here's one over here. And then these right here. And there's nothing up here. All right, so I don't know if we got this one or not. And then back this way. So here's the locations for all the world trees. If you guys can try to take a screenshot or something of that. Yeah, there's nothing on that top. There they are. There's that one at the very bottom down here. And then, oh crap. See, there's the one right here where here. Boom. Problem solved. So the one right where those roses are, it's the only one covered up. So right here, every single one of them is visible right now. All right, so that's all the World Tree locations. So boss fight locations. So there are several boss fights on the world map, and the boss fights, they do you do the boss fights for drops. Right here is the location for one. You just basically you go there, you find the boss, you defeat the boss, and then the boss is gonna give you a drop. Maybe it's a drop chance, right, for their weapon or their armor. There's all kinds of different goodies that you can get from defeating the boss fights. So here's a location of one. This is by no means any. This is not all. Excuse me. This is not all of the locations. Here's another one up here. There's a whole bunch. I'm gonna be skipping over. I feel like a couple good ones down there. Yeah, right here. Literally right here with the. And then this one right here. There's a big giant spider that lives right here in this cave. And so that's just a handful of locations of a couple of bosses. There's another one in between here too. I think you got to zoom in. Oh yeah, right here. Yeah, right here in the corner. This little broken down building. But there's all kinds of boss fights, and I'm sure that there's interactive maps that you guys can find. You guys can Google and be a part of that. So yeah, the world map. Some of the bosses are on a 1 hour rotation. Some of the bosses are on a 3 hour rotation. So keep that in mind. Just rotate those that they rotate, and also to rotate the bosses, you guys can rotate invites. So if you're playing with some friends and you are inviting your friends and you guys run through all the different boss fights on through your invite, then what you guys could do is, have one of your friends back out, send you an invite, and then you accept their invite, and then you guys can run through the bosses again. And then, of course, with a third friend, and so on and so forth. Yeah, keep doing the boss fights, wait for the resets. All right, so yeah. Basic controls and fighting. Basic controls. So the tab button, hold tab, is going to take you to the night fold. No big deal. So while you're fighting, every once in a while, one of the enemy are going to have the little, they're going to be glowing. While they're glowing, if you hold the Q plus the mouse wheel, you tap the mouse wheel, you're going to, you're going to grab the little glowy. You're going to grab it up. There was one of the... Is that it? That might be it. I was looking for one of those little tombstones. So these little tombstones on the... while you're playing, you're going to see these tombstones. If you walk up to them close enough, if you get within proximity, they will, they'll activate. So once they're activated if you end up dying, if you go down in battle, your your bird is gonna end up coming spawning from here, and then you're gonna have to fly to wherever you went down in battle. All right, let's try to find some people to battle. Obviously, you know, WSAD for the controls. Holding the shift button for sprint, tap the shift button to roll, to dodge roll. You can hold the right click to block. If you hold right click and then tap the mouse wheel, well, hold the mouse wheel, you can throw your weapon. And of course, you can tap your middle
Prey is mine.
middle button to retrieve your weapon. So yeah, hold right click, and then you click in your mouse wheel. Click it in again. If you click and hold it and you let it go in that sweet spot, you're gonna do a lot more damage, by the way. Let's see here. Oh, if you just simply click in your mouse wheel, that's your heavy attack. So whenever you're left clicking your mouse, that's a regular attack, but if you click in your mouse wheel, that's a heavy attack. Pretty devastating. So I do have my number 5 ability, or my number 5 button as my health potion, my heals. So you guys can change those. Of course, I've got my first ability. Again, I'm using the Orangal. And then the Orangal Pact. And then I got my number 2 for second ability, number 3 for third ability. And yeah, let's see if I can't go down in battle. Oh man, my wolf might end up defeating these guys. For science, I want to go down in battle. That guy's already dead, look. Come on, bro. Back, dog. Back. No. Oh, man. All right, so I'm trying to show that whenever you go down in battle, you'll end up coming back from that gravestone, from that little headstone with the bird. All right. Well, you'll see. Take my word for it. So that's basic controls. Of course, you guys, you can tap T for game chat. You guys got recruit chat and, Q&A. In game, hit your escape key, go to friends list. You can add friends. Super easy. You guys can add me at Lucian Plays All Day. Don't forget you can change your settings and your key bindings. Here is where you would change. Oh, also, real quick, one thing that I would highly recommend is go all the way over here to accessibility, scroll down and go to Compass always visible. Compass always visible for sure. Your choice to, disable HUD motion and all that. Excuse me, all that stuff. I'm so sorry. But on the video, you guys can change your resolution, field of view, all that fun stuff. You can put the graphics quality. Like I said, obviously I'm running on low. If you guys need to, this is where you would do that. And obviously controller settings, keyboard, mouse settings. If you need to, here's where you go and change your key bindings. If you need to change, what your mouse functions buttons do, or what each button individually does. On top of sending, excuse me, on top of sending friend requests, if you click on somebody's name, you can click on talk, and T for talk. You can click on, you can click on talk and type out a message. So they're not receiving message. But if you had somebody, they need to be online, obviously. So that's definitely that's a fail. So yeah, if I had any friends online that that's how you would do that. Click on the add button to add a member to your squad, but to add friend here. So yeah, I believe that's just about everything that I wanted to cover. That's it. We did it. All right. All right, guys. If there's anything that I missed, feel free to, drop a comment. Make sure to bap that like button, hit that subscribe button. And yeah, make sure to join us live on Twitch weekdays starting at 5 p.m. Eastern. It's Lucian Plays All Day. Bye.